Okay, I've got my new screen in, and as you see, I've actually put everything back the way it was. There's the video cable that I took out here, which it's going into the new screen. This is the actual video cable, so be really careful with this. This is what brings the image into the screen. And then if you look here, this is the actual camera cable. They're basically the same thing, but one of them is really small and one of them is big. So if you look here, that's what needs to come out right there. So now that I've got my new screen in, I'm going to replace the inverter. The inverter's down here. I've already gone over this. It looks like a DDR memory stick kind of. It pulls out. There's a little slot in there you can see. Just make sure when you put the new inverter in, you put it back in that slot, or putting that white plastic piece on is going to be a really big pain in the ass. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these plugs out. There's one on each side. This one actually runs to the actual screen. You can use a flathead. There's little notches on here to pry this off. That comes out just like that. And then on the other side, you can pull it a little bit and it should come right off. It's the same thing. If you've ordered an inverter from the internet, as long as it has the same model number on there, it may look a little bit different, but it should plug in just like the old one. Mine looks exactly the same. So the best way to do this is, a lot of times the power cable here, over here on the left side, the little black one, is pinched a little bit, so you just want to slide it in like this until it's connected. You can push it up against the metal hinge here. We're going to slide that back into those slots. We're going to plug this power cable in. You can usually do this one by hand. You're just going to slide that back into that slot. And that's how you replace the inverter. It's pretty easy. Now, putting this plastic piece on can be a really big pain in the ass, because you need to watch out for this black ribbon cable that's right here. Because if you don't keep the black ribbon cable pulled back when you put this plastic piece in, this ribbon cable can actually show up on the other side of the Macbook. It's not too eye-appeasing when you close your MacBook and you have a nice big black ribbon cable sticking out of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece. This needs to be the first thing that goes back on after you put everything together, before you start putting the screws in. Just going to press down on this until that goes in. And on this side, because of that ribbon cable, you just kind of want to, if you want to try to hold this part down and then push this one and try to get it around that black ribbon cable when you're pushing it in. And it should go right back in just like that. You just press down on it until it clips. Now, I'm going to show you, worst case scenario, what this ribbon cable is going to do. I'm holding the MacBook right now, and you can see this cable sticking out. This is what you don't want. So I'm going to put this back down and show you how to fix that. Just going to pry this back up. Okay, so we got this. Now you want to take that same flathead and you want to take that black ribbon cable and pull it forward as much as you can. You can bend it a little bit, try to get it to stay above the metal hinge. What we're going to do is, when we're putting this on, we're going to hold this left side down. We're going to flip the MacBook over. Okay? We're going to pull it up just enough so we can see this cable. And from the other side, I'm going to move over here. See how I have this? I'm going to push this with this hand. On the other side, though, however, I'm going to be taking this flathead and making sure that this ribbon cable does not get stuck. It's going to take a little bit of work. get that side on and the middle piece on, and take that and push that black thing away as you're pressing the rest of this down. That way it's inside that white piece. As you see, you can't see the ribbon cable anymore because I've pushed it in there. Now we're going to take this back down, make sure that's securely fastened, and you're ready to go ahead and start screwing everything back in. And it's pretty self-explanatory from here on out. All you got to do is take those screws that you've set aside and screw everything back in. Once you get everything back in, this again is going to be one of the trickiest parts of this, is you're going to take your bezel. Remember how I told you those gray pieces that are really irritating? If you've got some, like I've already taken my gray pieces out and put them back in over here. Like what you want to do is you want to take your flathead screwdriver and pry these gray pieces off if they're bent or if they're not going in properly. Then you can take those gray pieces and actually push them back into the laptop. That way, when you go to put the actual bezel back on, everything just snaps in really easy. So after you get everything snapped in, and you've changed your screen or your LCD or your inverter, everything should work properly. You just want to give it a test run, and other than that, you shouldn't have any problems out of your MacBook if you're just replacing the screen. Now, if you're actually going to be replacing that power cable and your backlight's not working, proceed to the next step of this training video.